والسبب اللي بحب هالتعريف لأنه بيضوي على الأربع مبادئ الأساسية يلي كمان نحن عم نشتغل على أساسها which is action, research, participation and promoting democratic social change. بنفس الوقت بيخلي مساحة for other forms of approaches to be also defined or delineated or unpacked. مثل ما قلت يعني we are emerging in this field personally. نحن فكمان يعني عم نضل نتعلم أكثر وأكثر and to unpack what all of those notions carry. The emergence of the work بينبع عملنا من يعني في شيء that John Dewey refers to as felt difficulties. So يلي هي إذا بدنا نقول صعوبات أو تحديات بنواجهها أو بيواجهها الشخص يلي يمارس التعليم وبيواجهها تقريبا بشكل يومي. وعادة بيرفقها هيدا الشعور انه في شيء غلط، في شيء منه مزبوط، لازم اعمل شيء، ما فيني ضل عم بشتغل هيك او عم بعلم هيك. So those felt difficulties that we feel on a daily basis, that there is something that is just not right, is what takes us into practitioner inquiry. Where as practitioners, we start inquiring into, okay, so what's wrong and what can we do about it? لذلك السياق خاصة بعد كوفيد وبعد يعني الأزمة يلي لبنان قطع فيها، يلي يعني هاي لحالها بدها يمكن a whole session to just unpack. فكل هالتفاقمات اللي صارت خاصة within يعني the last 3 or 4 years خلتنا أكثر نحس ب those felt difficulties. وكان أحد أهم الأسئلة يلي واجهناها ويلي كنا نطرحها خلال اجتماعات، خلال أحاديث، خاصة بالفترة يلي رجعنا فيها من بعد اونلاين ليرنينج وبلشنا نرجع على التعليم الحضوري. فشفنا انه كثير من يلي موجود بمناهجنا ويلي نحن يعني المفروض نكون عم نعلمه صار اكثر واكثر منفصل عن واقعنا وواقع طلابنا، وواقع يعني قضايا متشعبه وعم بتكون متفاقمه بنفس الوقت. بنفس الوقت يعني we just needed to make sense of what is happening وحسينا انه we need to adapt our pedagogy, we need to adapt our curriculum. بنفس الوقت وجدنا انه ما في منهج جاهز يمكن انه يعني to bridge هال disconnect and this gap اللي كنا عم نلمسه. بنفس الوقت we knew we needed to do this with students and that their agency in this regard is very imperative and important. فخلال يعني مثل ما قلت المحادثات اللي تعملها أسبوعياً مع a group of teachers who since already I'm immersed within a participatory action research environment at the university here. So we started exploring how can participatory and action-oriented approaches help us figure out and address those challenges and those issues. So mainly the work is grounded or stems from practitioner inquiry. And this is where through the practitioner inquiry that we were doing, we started exploring participatory action research and youth participatory action research as the spaces through which we can start to reconsider ونعيد النظر بالطريقه اللي عم نشتغل فيها. وهلا حجرب اوضح يعني الفرق وهل الترانزيشن او how to transition again the different conceptual backgrounds that interconnect in this situation. فمثل ما قلت يعني حسينا انه بدنا نوسع نطاق البحث التعاوني لكمان يشمل الطلاب. So trying to position our work, which is like usually a bit tricky. مثل ما قلت انطلقنا من practitioner inquiry. So this is mainly based on the work of Cochran Smith and Glyton. And in this model, for example, بتشوفوا في practitioner inquiry as the general umbrella. Under practitioner inquiry, there's action research, participatory action research, teacher research, SOTs, and so on and so forth. If you look at other models, بتشوفوا action research as a general umbrella, and then under it you might see, or you will see, practitioner inquiry and other forms of action research. So, مثل ما قلت, like this tends to become very, again, complicated depending on what literature we're referencing or we use. ولكن في commonalities وفي common characteristics, and these are the ones that Kamina, Cochran, Smith, and Glyton highlight within this model. وهل القواسم المشتركة مع يعني القراءات أو المصادر الثانية يلي تبعناها خلقنا مثل ما قلت المبادئ يلي عم نستعملها بالشغل اللي عم نعمله هلا. another sound check. انا يعني بالاونلاين تعودنا نعمل ساوند تشيكس لانه ياما بلاقي حالي ياما عم بحكي 10 دقائق بعدين بكتشف انه الصوت مثلا ما كان طالع. So كل عم يسمعني great. لا just say thumbs up and I know I need to continue. Thank you. قبل ما هيك نغوص اكثر those guiding again principles, بيهمني اوضح this dialectic between of researcher practitioner. So we see this a lot ورح نستعمل هالتعبير يعني researcher practitioner خلال الجلسة. ولكن من أهداف participatory action research and practitioner inquiry and those methodologies were to blur the lines between practitioner and researcher. So, and this can take several shapes and several forms. بمحلات the researcher is the practitioner. Is about the case أنا ولاura. I do research. I'm based in a university. I'm an emerging scholar and researcher. Or I'm a practitioner. Lara كمان, she's doing her PhD. She's engaged in research and she is practicing and she's teaching. في يعني other هيك very adamant sources بيقولوا you cannot be a researcher alone or a practitioner alone. You have to be both. So هلا يعني we're not going to go into that debate. بس يلي بدنا to highlight انه we want to blur the lines. وخاصة انه في other cases where مثلا the project اللي I will introduce بعدين very briefly, the one يلي I'm working on Miss Asil, كمان she's at Ahliya School. She's only a teacher. She's a practitioner. إذا بدنا نتبع هالتعريف يعني she's not a researcher. She's not working at the university. She's only a practitioner. However, we're collaborating. So I'm kind of the researcher. She's the practitioner, and we're collaborating and co-researching together. And in this sense, the practitioner is also a researcher. So although we are using those terms because they are used, however, our objective is to kind of blur this dichotomy and to actually build on the tension that arises usually from this dialectic. Okay. Um, so what is guiding our work? Um, the first notion is it is collaborative. Within يعني البحث الإجرائي أو البحث التشاركي أو يعني all of those approaches، بس نحكي عن collaboration أو at least again يعني برجع بعيد I'm not defining based on this is the right أو هذا الشيء صح أو غلط. عم شارك نحن هالمفاهيم كيف عم ننطلق منها وكيف نحن عم نطبقها. So collaboration is a process of leveling power differentials يلي عادة exist between a researcher and the participants. فهو مكان يلي يشارك الجميع بشكل إذا ما نقول بشكل مثالي بجميع مراحل البحث. فبابا يعني ما في عندنا ريسيرشر يلي فايت ليجمع معلومات او داتا من participants بعدين يرجع يروح يقعد ويعمل the data analysis. ما عم نقول هذا شيء صح او غلط, they're just different approaches. So within participatory action research, collaboration is when that power differential that exists usually between research and participant is leveled. The researcher and the participant are co-researching together. And we will give examples من الشغل اللي عم نعمله كيف the participants فيهم يكونوا part من deciding on the research question, deciding on the research methodology, the tools. And I'm sure this is resonating يعني with, I know في a lot of graduate students هلا attending, even participants يلي to us بيصيروا co-researchers, they take part in the data analysis. And this is partly of the scope of what we mean by collaboration. For inviting people to attend a focus group and asking them questions, this is not the kind of participation or collaboration that we mean by here. It is a collaborative co-researching endeavor. And this is where usually we see the notion of researching with and not on people. يعني عم بعمل بحث مع وليس على. This is even further within participatory action research. And again, what يعني the historical background that it stems from, it's even researching with and for. Then it needs to have the benefit for the participants, for the community that the research is about. النقطة الثانية هي it is research based, and this is something that we need to emphasize. It is rigorous research. يعني نقول بكل ما في الكلمة من معنى. So action research مش الشغل اليومي يلي we do as a teachers انه بلاقي لك استراتيجي او طريقه ثانيه اعلم فيها بجربها وبعمل امتحان للطلاب بتطلعوا عملوا احسن او لا. So this is not participatory action research. This is important. This is the work that we do pretty much on a daily basis. ولكن وقت نحكي عن PAR or again practitioner inquiry or research, it means it has all of the elements of a university is a نقول in the sense research. So there's a conceptual background or framework, في clear methodology اللي بدها تكون واضحة, methods يكونوا واضحين, كيف بدنا نعمل the data analysis. And this is again, it's a very important point to emphasize, and we will also share examples about this. فبحث يعني دقيق ومنهجي إذا بدنا نختصرها. And it is action oriented. And again, this is what part of what makes it action research. So action